Hope everybody is doing well. I got some things at the thrift store, and some of them are kind of neat. Maybe you want to see it, maybe you don't. I don't know. But want to start with this Rowdy Telez I got from giveaway from Jonathan H. Very generous guy. Seems like a real genuine, nice guy, and it's a cool card. Out of 60, I don't usually PC Toronto stuff, but I might hold on to this for a while. I'll probably end up giving it away at some point, but it's a cool card. It's nice looking. It's got some movies. Stone Cold with the very talented Brian Bosworth, Shakespearean trained, classically trained Brian Bosworth. Saw this movie a long time ago, probably like around when it came out in '91 on like Cinemax or something like that. I don't remember anything about it. I don't think I've seen Bosworth in any other movie. Offhand, I can't think of any. Lance Henriksen's in this. You know, I can't really say much about it because it's directed by Craig Baxley. Don't know. Let's move on from Stone Cold. Shapeshifter, which is what's on now. It's a Full Moon Entertainment Pulse Pounder. If I remember correctly, in the 90s, Full Moon started doing these Pulse Pounders, which I think are like young adult thriller, horror, sci-fi things. And then they did like series of kids movies like Prehysteria, some other things. A lot of them are on Prime actually. There's a service called Tubi, Tubi. It's a streaming service. It's free. They have a lot of the Full Moon stuff on it, and they have a lot of other good stuff on Tubi too. So, what year is this from? Can't see. Can't find the year, but Full Moon's. I'm a big fan. Oh, 1999. Big fan of Full Moon. I may have told this story on video before, but when I was a kid, my father would get the industry magazines for video stores and things like that, and I filled out one, and I sent it into Full Moon, and they thought we were a video store, my house. So every month I would get a package from Full Moon with all the promo tapes in there, or t-shirts, comic books, trading cards. A lot of the stuff I still have, a lot of stuff is gone. But I'm trying to think of like Subspecies I remember really liking. Obviously Puppet Master. Pit and the Pendulum, I think Lance Henriksen's in that. Bad Channels. Oh, there's a lot of cool Full Moon stuff. Charles Band, who company this is, he started with Wizard Video back in the early 80s, and they were one of the first home video companies, I think. And then he became Full Moon. Actually, Wizard Video put out two Atari games. They put out the Halloween Atari game and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Atari game. And both things I would love to get at some point. Pretty expensive. So Wizard Video eventually became Full Moon, and a few years back, when the VHS collecting started getting popular, Charles Band found, so he says, I don't know if it was like in a basement somewhere or something, all these old big box VHS tapes of, like Zombie and Oasis of the Dead, I believe, things like that, Wizard Video stuff from back in the day, and we're selling them. I think he tried to start like a subscription service with them. He was selling them for fairly high prices, And turns out it's bullshit, that he was lying. There's a couple videos on YouTube, people going over the tapes and why they were modern. And he was pawning them off as original big box VHS tapes from Wizard Video, which go for a pretty hefty sum, a lot of them. So, little full moon trivia. He's kind of a scumbag, but I do like a lot of the movies. Psycho 3. This Psycho was directed by Anthony Perkins. I think all the Psychos are good. The remake, not so much. I don't hate it as much as other people. I think there's some cool stuff in there. Gus Van Sant, I think, directed it. So, like the scene in the Psycho remake when William H. Macy's character falls down the stairs, and he has these like flashes of weird things, like a cow in the road, and when there's the unveiling of Norman's mother, and there's kind of like an aviary in the basement or something. I can't really remember right now, but it was different and kind of neat. But all the Psychos are pretty good, the original ones. This one is weird. Anthony Perkins was very, obviously, given that he worked with Hitchcock, he was very influenced by him, and you could see some of the influence in this movie. At times, it kind of looks like a giallo, like an Italian horror. The lighting, this fella in it, what's his name? Lawnmower Man, I can't remember his name right now. I don't know. Anyways, he's a good actor. And, I don't know, it's a cool, weird movie. I think the fourth one was made for Showtime. And the kid from E.T.'s in it. And I think his mother's played by... Man, I can't remember anything tonight. But she was in Romeo and Juliet, the one from the 70s. She was Juliet, I believe. And he's like calling into a radio station, and I think he's saying he's gonna kill, and it's a conversation between Norman Bates and the radio host, and then flashbacks to when he was a kid. Psycho 2 is pretty cool. I think Jennifer Tilly's sister's in it, plays his love interest, and I don't know, if you ever get a chance, you see the other Psychos on TV or something, they're definitely worth watching. None of them are as good as the original, but still cool movies. I got this, which is my second copy of it, and I've never read it. Shock value. It's just about, I think each chapter is a different horror director, and a brief history on them. See these chapters. Problem with Psycho, Assault in the Audience. I know there's Wes Craven, I think Tobe Hooper chapter. Vincent Price, and I don't know who that is. Danny Kaye. I may use this as a giveaway. I think there's some people that subscribe that may be interested in this. Yeah, there's that. What else? The Greek Coffin Mystery, Ellery Queen. Ellery Queen, I believe, is a pseudonym for like a ton of different people. They've used it over the years. I like these pocket type books, or pocket books. I used to buy a lot of Western pocket books, but I started accumulating way too many, and I gave up on that. So now I only buy them if they're horror related. I'll never read this. Just kind of had a cool title, and I really like the cover. Yeah, it's that. The Golden Compass, His Dark Materials. I've never read this. The movies I heard were not very good, so I skipped them, and they didn't really look good. I know that HBO has a new show coming out. I saw the trailer, and it, I don't know, just doesn't do anything for me, or didn't do anything for me. But I'll give this a shot, I guess, at some point. It's like they were Netflix queue. It's just like a million books queued up to read and not enough time. What else? Swords in the Mist by Fritz Lieber. I don't know what this is, but the cover was cool. The third book of the Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser. I will never read this book, I'm sure. But it is... If I see like these pulp sci-fi or fantasy type books, I have to buy them. It's like a compulsion. I don't know. Kind of reminds me of a guy that did Conan artwork. Fritz something? I don't know if I'm saying that just because it's Fritz Lieber, but I think it is. It's something like that. It's over. Arithmetic, number 3. I believe this is from 62 or 65. It is heavily used. 63. I like math, and I usually buy any math book from, usually if it's pre-70, I'm going to buy it. Generally, I'm looking for really old stuff, 30s, 40s, or older. Someone did not like this part of the book, and I don't blame them. I don't know, it's cool. I like the artwork in these old ones, or these ones from the 60s, like this kind of Norman Rockwell. I guess that's like that style, kind of. I don't know. Yeah, Arithmetic 3. Exciting. This one's a bit cooler. Second course in algebra. This is from 30s or 40s? 1925, okay. I saw that and I had to buy it. I like the, follow a little bit of history that this book had. I don't know what Paris, LA means, but I'm sure it didn't travel there. Michael Caprio, Alan Cloud, Virginia Keller, and John Long, the last one to take out in 1952. Brighton High. I don't know. Neat to me, at least. These ones you may find more interesting. I collect a lot of novelizations of movies. Santa Claus the movie. I think this is my 3rd copy of this. It shows up all the time. It's elf made, by the way. I might use this as a giveaway. I don't really remember this movie. I know I had it on tape, taped off a TV. I probably still have it somewhere, but I just never. I don't remember really liking it. Who was in it? Who's the drunk Arthur? The guy, British guy. I don't know. He may have been an elf in it. I can't recall, but yeah, this might go into a giveaway as well. I have a few copies of it. This one's cool. The Karate Kid. This actually has some water damage because this was outside of the thrift store on the ground in the rain. I've never actually read one of these adaptations. And I wonder, I take that back. I read the Star Wars one years and years ago. I wonder how many of these are actually better than the movies. I just finished watching Cobra Kai, and it's really bad, but it's very aware of how bad it is, which makes it okay, and it's pretty fun. I used to love Karate Kid. Unfortunately, sorry about that. We're gonna have a jump there. So I don't know where I left off. I think Cobra Kai. One of the problems with the show, the biggest problem with the show, I can look past the cheesiness of it, and all that stuff is fine because I know it's very deliberately, or at least I think it's deliberately being cheesy. I'm actually really surprised at the things that they do and say. I don't find it offensive, but I know a lot of people would find it offensive, and I have to believe that they're doing that because they're trying to appeal to me and you, most likely. Dudes are like 30, 25 to 35 or 40 years old. So the big problem with the Cobra Kai show is that karate is, I appreciate the art aspect of it, and there are definitely exceptions to the rule, but generally speaking, it's not I don't know, it's not the best system of defense. Not what people thought it was back in the 80s or even 50s. Well, I think this is when it blew up around in the United States. But it's a fun movie. There's it had to be in the 50s because there's a guy named Count Dante, or was a guy named Count Dante, who was one of the first American champions. And I can't remember which form of karate, but it was in the 50s and it was a big deal. And he went on to form Black Dragon Fighting Society, which has a really crazy, crazy story. And he used to advertise in comic books. His no touch, I think they call it like is it not dim mock or something like that? It's like a no touch, like he could kill you, using his chi, and that bullshit. Some people still believe it, but he was actually like taking part in like dojo battles where people are getting like stabbed with sais, and he died. I can't remember what he died from. I think his appendix ruptured. But Black Dragon Fighting Society still exists today, and the guy that owns it, or the rights to the name, actually he lives like 15 minutes away, and it's all such garbage. It seems to be full of people that are very mentally ill, and there's a guy on. I don't think he posts on YouTube anymore, but his name is Ashida Kim. Ashida Kim, Kim. He is not Asian. He's very white, and he is insane, absolutely insane, and a good representation of the craziness that martial arts can bring. Luckily, with the UFC and MMA, that it's weeded out a lot of the garbage. If you watch the early UFCs, you can see people trying to use that crap and getting the hell beat out of them. But yeah, Ashida Kim is crazy. You know who was part of that stuff was Frank Dux, the guy that Bloodsport was based off of. Another one. He's another one of these phony martial artists. I don't know. It's I think that stuff is really interesting. That martial arts in the 80s, in particular, and I also think the kind of crazy dojo, the Cobra Kai in this, John Kreese, I think is the guy that in the movie ran Cobra Kai. Those places really existed, and there's a video. I don't know if it's on YouTube anymore. It might be on like Live Leak, of a dojo in the 80s beating up a homeless man, and it looks like they beat him to death. Apparently there was an investigation, and they didn't, they found the guy was not dead, but it's like a real life Cobra Kai. If you read about the guy that ran the place, and I think there are videos of him talking to his black belts, like, if anybody challenges you, you have to hurt them, or it is real Cobra Kai stuff, and there was a lot of that back in the day, and I'm very happy that mixed martial arts has, in the, modern combat sports has weeded that crap out. A lot of it, I remember buying I had a book called like Black Medicine, I think it was, and I bought it at the Army Navy store. And anytime I think of that type of phony martial arts in the 80s, I think of Army Navy store. A lot of It's filled with a lot of losers who were not talented enough at other things, to other martial arts. They couldn't hang, so they would get into these weird like fake ninjutsu stuff, and like I said, a lot of mental illness in there. So yeah, I think it's an interesting topic, and cool to do a video on that. So this was probably the best of the books that I got. I don't have it. I didn't have it. I know a lot of people out there really like this movie as well, so this might go into a giveaway. I may actually want to read this one. Back to the Future novelization by George Gipe, I guess. This would be cool to see the difference between the movie and the book, but it's a great movie. One of the only movies I can watch and not be upset about the product placement, and it is very overt. I don't know why it doesn't bother me. I guess it kind of feels, it feels a little bit natural in this. I don't know why, because it is so in your face. I think it pretty much starts with product placement. Like, I think Burger King is like one of the opening shots in the movie, and then maybe Timex or Casio. But man, all of them are great. Even the third one, a lot of people don't love it. I really like the third one. It was the only one I saw in the theater, my father and I, and it's a cool movie. Great soundtrack. They recently did in Boston, they did they playing the movie with the sound. They had a full orchestra playing it, and I didn't go, and I really regret not going. Yeah, great. I love it. So that's I think all the stuff. I got some other stuff, some books that are they're a bit political in nature. I'd rather not put them on video. I'd rather keep any politics off this shit. They're not extreme or anything. They're just political enough. I did get some vinyl, but that's going out to somebody, so I don't want to show it on camera. The guy at the flea market, I would buy the wax boxes for. I don't know, is that even, do people call them wax boxes anymore? I don't think so. But he was not there today, and the other guy wants ridiculous prices for his cards. I'm just not going to pay it. So I'm hoping Wednesday I'll be able to get over to the brick and mortar shop near me and buy some boxes for the free breaks. I'm probably going to do 2 boxes at a time, so it'll be 8 spots. I really want to try to figure this out a little bit better, so everyone gets a shot in there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna hopefully go. I want to do it by this Friday, but it's probably gonna be next Friday. And I think Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? I'll do the giveaway. So yeah, that's it. I want to do some other things tonight, but I don't have the time. I really wanted to just get that box of tapes and just kind of go over some movies and talk about movies, and I don't know, just kind of a way to get some things out of me. And I'll have to wait. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow night. And I'm probably gonna go get some more Bowman Platinum this week, and that's it. So I hope you enjoy this. I know it's pretty low-key, low energy. It's very late, and I'm very tired, and I just wanted to do something. Also this week, I think I want to do this. I want to see what happens when I put the Sabo rookie in here. I need to prep though, just in case. So I did notice that the earthquake in California kind of coincided when I got the Rookie around the same time. So I don't know. I'm not saying that Chris Sabo has the power to cause earthquakes, but I'm not saying he doesn't. I don't know what the hell I'm saying.